Many of our courses here at CBT Nuggets now support virtual labs, which give you an opportunity to follow along with the course, get that crucial hands-on experience, and practice what you've learned. In this nugget, we're going to take a quick overview of what virtual labs are all about. Then together, we're going to learn how to use one. One of the biggest challenges for anybody, beginner or expert, learning anything in IT is getting hands-on experience. In the past, we were the ones responsible for our own lab environments. In order to do that, we needed to buy our own lab equipment and our own software that ran on that equipment. And then because it was our stuff, we had to learn carefully, right? Because if we were to break anything, well, that would equate to even more time and money. So virtual labs solve these challenges by providing you with a fully featured lab environment for whatever technology you're learning. You can follow along with the course, practice, experiment, and it's all built into your CBT Nugget subscription. Now, if a course supports a lab, you will see a link on the right-hand side of the course page. You click that link and it will launch your lab inside of a browser. Once the lab environment is loaded, which should only take a minute or two, you'll have access to all the machines in that lab. Now, many of our newer courses support nugget level labs, which is really cool. Each nugget has a lab tailored to that specific nugget. So in the beginning of the course, you may have just 1 to 2 machines as you're learning the basics. But as you progress to the more difficult concepts, you may come across a network of 5 or more machines in a lab. All right, are you ready to get up close and personal with a virtual lab? We built one just for this nugget. So look for the link to launch the lab around the video you're watching now. Give that a click in about a minute to fully load. Once it's done loading, we'll have a little fun here with a Windows Server 2016 machine. And here it is, a very simple lab user interface to get the hang of. On the right is our navigation panel. So if you have multiple machines in a lab, you'll have a tile here for each machine. You can just simply click on it to bounce between machines. We also have a toolbar up top here to control your display and to issue commands to whatever machine currently has the focus. Now, if you need to log into a machine, you can either use the password here and type it in manually, or you can click on this clipboard icon, which will paste it in automatically. And then, let's do this together, log in. Here we are inside of our Windows Server 2016 virtual machine in this virtual lab. So at this point, you can do whatever you want. Follow along with the course, practice, play, experiment. Let's begin by getting familiar with this machine. Let's right-click on the Start button and launch an elevated command prompt. That's a command prompt running under administrative privileges. Now let's type in host name and hit enter. This is going to return the name of this machine, which lines up with our wallpaper. Let's run another sanity check here. Let's run an ipconfig and hit enter to look at our network configuration. We can see our IP address, our subnet mask, and our default gateway. Let's do something else fun here. Just to prove we're on the internet, let's ping google.com. Look at that, it works. We hit Google servers. We can also get a lot of this information and even manage our server graphically. Let's minimize the command prompt and click on this button on the taskbar right here, which will launch Server Manager, our graphical tool of choice here for managing Windows Server. Click on the local server item in the left-hand navigation and look at all that juicy info. We can see and even change our computer name here. We can manage the firewall and our network interface card, see operating system and hardware information, and all kinds of other things. Now, the last thing we're going to do here is crash this machine. If you've never seen the blue screen of death, this is your opportunity not only to see it, but to make it happen. And we have another sysinternals utility here called Not My Fault. What a great name. Let's double-click that utility to launch it, and now you can pick your poison. How do you want to crash this machine? I'm going to choose a buffer overflow and hit the crash button. Congratulations, you have now crashed Windows Server. Not a lot of fun when it happens to you in the real world, but a ton of fun when we're doing it in the name of learning in a virtual lab. In this CBT Nugget, we learned that virtual labs give you the ability to follow along with the course, practice what you learn, and get that hands-on experience for the real world. I hope this has been informative for you, and I'd like to thank you for viewing.